Lisa the Boy Scout is definitely a very creative episode of The Simpsons. In part, it's genuinely terrifying, and I rather enjoyed it. This is the third episode of the 34th season of The Simpsons. This is directed by Timothy Bailey, and it's meant to be about Lisa and Bart, both in the Scouts, going off into the wilderness. But a couple of minutes in, maybe not even a couple of minutes, cyber terrorists have hacked into the show and are threatening to show us never before seen clips of The Simpsons unless people pay them a lot of money. It might have been Bitcoin, if I remember rightly, but either way, they're threatening to show these clips, and that's what most of the episode is. These never before seen bizarre clips. Some of them are a bit boring, and some of them are not that great, but some of them are really, really fascinating and really good fun and unveil potential, secrets or different directions the show could have taken. And quite a few of them did make me think, yeah, that's a really good point. For example, there's one about Ralph and Chief Wiggum. And I won't spoil it by saying what it is, but it made me think, how have I never noticed that before? And I rather enjoyed it. My two favourites, I will save just now, and I'll give a spoiler warning in a moment and share my two favourites. But actually, my two favourites were at the beginning. They were maybe the first two, or one of the first two to be shown. After that, we had a mix of some not that interesting clips and some that were, quite thought-provoking and quite fun to think about what could have been or what direction the show could have taken. I don't know how much of this episode is genuinely clips they've never used before, or if it's completely created for the purpose of this episode. But honestly, I don't care. If somebody said to me, these are all brand new clips, fresh content created solely for Lisa the Boy Scout, I wouldn't be bothered. In fact, I'd say that's great. That's really creative to come up with so many individual little narratives or little concepts. Each clip only lasts really a couple of seconds. That's very well done. However, if some of them are preconceived ideas that they just never used, then fair enough. I don't mind either way. If anybody does know anything about that, please feel free to let me know. But personally, I'm not bothered. I really enjoyed it. It was genuinely terrifying because before I started watching it, I didn't know what it was about. I thought, based on the title and the intro, that it was going to be about Lisa and Bart in the Scouts, and it isn't. And it's really scary when the terrorists kind of came on screen, and I thought, all right, this is slightly unnerving. But even in animation, it was unnerving. But I thought it was a really great idea. Some of the clips, as I said, a little bit boring, but generally really good fun and kind of what I want to go back and watch immediately. I won't, because season 34 landed on Disney Plus in the UK today, so I'm wanting to power on, but I will definitely go back and watch this. Before I get in with the spoilers, the two things that I love, just very briefly, we also have Anna Faris voicing the female hacker, which I rather enjoyed. Okay, so the two bits that I loved. So these are spoilers for what I consider to be two of the best bits. So spoilers from now, and the first one that I loved, there never was a Lenny. What? Love that. It's so great. It's absolutely one of those things that I'm glad isn't true. But I could see that being like a Treehouse of Horror episode, and I don't know exactly how or why, but it would have just been lovely to have that as a full episode, or at least a full segment in a Treehouse of Horror. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. The second is Bart, older Bart, going back in time to the first episode to tell the Simpsons all of the things that they then go on and predict over the seasons. Absolutely love that too. One of my favourite things about the Simpsons is seeing the things that they've, in theory, predicted. The show is very well known for doing stories or even just, one-line remarks about things that are irrelevant at the time or not true, and that which later do come true. So I enjoyed that one as well. There were some others, quite a few others that I quite liked, but those were my highlights. I think once I finish season 34, I'm going to go back and watch this. It's definitely not what I was expecting based on the title, but I really thoroughly enjoyed Lisa the Boy Scout.